Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about Zelda Williams' latest film released on February 9th, 2024, Lisa Frankenstein. It is a quirky dark comedy following a misunderstood teenage goth girl and her developing relationship with a reanimated Victorian corpse. Now, before I hop into my review, if you want to support the channel, then please take a second to like and subscribe. Thank you, I really appreciate it. As a warning, this review will contain some spoilers, so please continue at your own risk. Lastly, if there's anything that you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Thank you, I'm hopping in 3, 2, 1. If you know anything about Frankenstein, then you have a general idea of what this movie is about. It is a campy take on the classic Frankenstein story, blending in elements of horror and comedy in a way that makes me think of 2013's Warm Bodies. The lonely teenage goth girl has a hard time fitting in at school and spends her time in a graveyard wishing she could be with her romanticized version of a dead man. Well, lightning strikes and the dead man comes to life, but not in the way she imagined. He is a grotesque man, but Lisa still spends time with him and beautifies him while he falls for her. Eventually, she falls for him and we get a happy ending of sorts. Even though the story doesn't feel very unique to me, I'm okay with that because the film and its characters had charm. I like Kathryn Newton as an actress and I thought she did a great job in this movie as Lisa. She pulls off the weirdo goth attitude, look, and vibe excellently. Considering her character's backstory, some of the actions she takes in this movie are understandable and some are not. Her motivations don't feel too well defined, but I guess it adds to the nonsensical and bizarre tone of the movie. Some other actresses I really enjoyed in this movie were Lisa Soberano as Taffy and Carla Gugino as Janet, Lisa's stepfamily. They were very tight-knit and had an interesting dynamic with Lisa. Taffy was kind and sweet and all around a great sister, while Janet was the most evil of evil stepmoms. When a certain stepmom got killed by the monster, I certainly didn't complain. Speaking of the monster, I think colesprouse did a good job in his role. Was I impressed? No, definitely not. However, I don't think he had much to work with. His character was basically a shuffling man moaning for the entire movie. Any actor could have taken this role, but I'm happy to see colesprouse acting again and hope he gets more projects where he can showcase his talents. Visually, the film shines with some beautifully crafted shots that capture the vibrant colors and retro aesthetics of the 1980s setting. Some of my favorite shots are in the tanning shack Lisa uses with the monster. I am a huge sucker for neon lights, so I definitely had fun with this film. Lisa Frankenstein is definitely not a cinematic masterpiece, but it certainly has identity, something not a lot of movies can claim. I think another strength of this movie is the soundtrack. When the tone and atmosphere needed to be moody and mysterious, the soundtrack helped. When the tone and atmosphere needed to be campy and silly, the soundtrack helped. I know I'm repeating myself, but just as importantly, the soundtrack captured the vibe of the 1980s. I love the inclusion of When in Rome, Echo and the Bunnymen, U2, Tears for Fears, and the Romantics. Lastly, I want to comment on the gore in this movie because, well, there is gore. I tend to be critical of gore in movies unless it's done tastefully and with reason, and thankfully this movie does both. Lisa Frankenstein is a movie that I viewed with an open mind and that helped me have fun. It is a quirky and campy take on the classic Frankenstein story. I like the lonely goth girl meets reanimated corpse, friends to lovers pipeline. It wasn't unique, but it definitely had charm. Some of my favorite things in this movie were the visuals. I love the vibrant colors and retro aesthetics that helped capture the 1980s setting. I also love the music. There were a lot of 80s bands that helped capture the nostalgic vibe. I thought the casting in this movie was great and I was impressed with Kathryn Newton, Lisa Soberano, and Carla Gugino. I wasn't impressed with the rest of the cast, including colesprouse, but to not discredit them, they still did a good job. Acting and fun story aside, I don't think the characters were fleshed out well. The motivations for some characters were a bit muddled and I know it added to the silliness of the movie, but sometimes characters did things that felt a little too absurd. Overall, this film is a blend of dark comedy, quirky adaptation, campy fun, and memorable moments that make it worth a watch. To be honest, I'm not really the target audience for this movie, yet I still had fun. I'm sure if I was still in junior high or high school, I would have enjoyed this movie much more, but I'm still glad I saw it. Thank you for listening to my review of Lisa Frankenstein. If you enjoyed the content and want to support the channel, then please take a second to like and subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if you want to see something reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego and I will see you next time.